All right, mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. All right. Let me find this. Okay, looks like we're on. All righty. Let me see how it sounds. All right, sounds good. Let me kind of turn this down. You can see here, I went back to the StreamYard format. I'm going to update my StreamYards next Saturday, looks like. I've contacted them. They cut me a nice little deal. So, but what is happening, people? Everybody hit that like button as you come in. That's free. And if you want to say a little something, hit that super chat button. Definitely will read off any questions that you got. And I will drop the link here at about 10:30. I'm sorry. And to get if anybody else wants to jump on, again, you do have to have StreamYards. It's a free download, and but that's how you jump on. The link will be in the description here. Now, I'll do that about 9 up to 9. Good grief, 10:30, and we'll be done before. Shout out to Jay Barry and Persona do their podcast and are complaining about something. Shout out to those guys. So. Also, shout out the people I was able to kind of take a look at early this morning. So shout out to Muscle Bound Gamer. I did watch his podcast. He had an actually very good podcast. I watched a little bit. I was able to watch RGT. I was at work. That's why I wasn't there. So shout out to that podcast. Still haven't watched Crossfire yet. That's something I'll listen to while I'm gaming today. And I will be playing Gears 5 and trying to get to the end so I can do the Hive Busters DLC, and then I'll stream the Hive Busters DLC. But let me tap the Rockies here. There we go. But shout out to everybody that is here in the chat. Again, this is, powered by StreamYard, as you all can see. But I want to give a shout out here to the members here. I see Ice Queen Gaming in the house. Hello, Ice Queen. Certainly hope you're doing well over there in jolly old England. I believe you're 6 hours ahead, so it is about 4 o'clock over there. So shout out to everybody in England that's watching. Shout out to Dribble PISS. What's happening, brother? So what is happening? So if he's still around, he left he left his thing according to this at 2 o'clock in the morning. So after I set everything up. So Sam Ash, what's happening? Who else is here? Vidra's here. What's going on? Yeah, Danny Ruiz definitely rip. Rip DMX. I wasn't a huge fan of DMX, but Rip, rest in power, definitely to him. I think he was 50 years old, so rest in peace. PlayStation Kings was happening. What is happening? True Virgil, appreciate your support. Thank you. So what is going on, people? Huge information day for PlayStation. A lot of questions got answered. All these guys talking about what the studios were doing and things like that. And so we're going to discuss the Bloomberg article, I believe, written by Jason Schreier. And I'm going to look at it and assume everything is correct, even though we shouldn't assume anything, right? But I'm going to talk about it like everything is correct in that article. So, So basically in his article, there were the thing that I really enjoyed about reading that article is that was about if you want to take Remedy, the rumor of the Remedy game coming, that's a rumor. there's 5 games that will be on PlayStation 5. 5. So Sony Ben is going to do their own game, according to the Bloomberg article. That's 1. Naughty Dog is working on a multiplayer game, which people assume is Factions. That's 2. So it was Naughty Dog. It was okay. We had the announcement of Jade Raymond's studio making a game. That's 3. So you had an announcement. I mean, to me, it was huge. And again, understand that, and shout out to Blaze 4K, because he even mentioned this. This isn't something that just happened. This happened months ago. So the people who said that there was a secret studio working on a Uncharted game, that was pretty much confirmed in that article. If the article is 100% accurate, and again, for the discussion that we're having, we're assuming that article was correct, which is fine. But that's a big deal. Also, Naughty Dog remaking, again, not remastering, remaking The Last of Us Part 1. That is huge, which means they are going to build that game. Again, if the article is correct, they're going to build that game from the ground up. Now, people are like, why is Sony doing this? Oh, maybe you forgot about that Blue Point game called Shadow of the Colossus, which was a PS3 game that was remade from the ground up by Blue Point Studio. Okay, so Sony does things like that. But again, that is 4 games that are announced, and then the 5th game would be the Remedy game. Again, if all this is true. So that is huge. You also know that Sony Ben, we know what they're doing. We know what Naughty Dog is doing on 2 folds. Okay. They're making 2 games. We know Jade Raymond, or is it Jade or Jada? So Miss Raymond is making an exclusive game for PlayStation. So, and again, I'm going to say it again, Remedy. So that's 5 games. So let's talk about it. Days Gone not getting a sequel. That's perfectly fine. I don't know how many people played Days Gone, and I thought Days Gone was a good game, but Days Gone wasn't a great game. And it had a beginning, it had a middle, and it had an end. There's really nothing to sequel, guys. Nothing to sequel. So now, does this mean, and again, this just means that right now, there's no plans. Now, could they go back and pitch something like The Lost Legacy for this? Absolutely. They could. But right now, they're making their own brand new IP. So either way, we're going to get a new IP from Sony Ben. It's just the one that they're making now. It's a brand new IP. Days Gone, again, if you played it and you beat it on the PlayStation Pro, it was fine, but it was a zombie game. And they being Sony, already has Naughty Dog, who has made the best zombie game of all time. The Last of Us Part 2 is considered the best zombie game of all time. I've always said, and zombies are overplayed anyway. They're fun. The games are fun to play. But I mean, we've got World War Z. You've got Dead Island. You've got Resident Evil. We've got Dying Light. I mean, how many zombies can we kill? So Days Gone was just another zombie game with hordes of zombies. Which, if you want to kill a bunch of zombies, you can play World War Z with your friends. So again, I don't mind there not being a Days Gone Part 2, because what would your sequel be? I mean, leave a comment if you want. Leave it. What would the sequel be? Because the last time I saw it, and I'm not going to ruin it, and I wouldn't mind a DLC, like a pre-DLC where before we meet Deacon and Boozer. Maybe that'd be the first half of it. Then the second half, you play as Deacon and Boozer. That's fine. and maybe we still get that. But I disagree respectfully with Marlon Gaming Nation simply because he is looking at it emotionally and not like, dude, there's 4 new games coming. 4. He didn't even talk about that. I did listen to his podcast when I got home last night. And, oh, man, I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, too. Jeez, that was so good. Man, that was good. So I enjoyed the news yesterday. I hope Jason Schreier is 100% correct. And I hope the rumor of the Remedy game is 100% correct. Because I'd much rather have that. Also, Sony is going, because this is going to happen, Sony is going to have something similar to Game Pass, and they are going to put games on PC. Why did Days Gone go to PC? I was listening to J-Tech talk about this. I think it was J-Tech. Shout out to J-Tech. He said, I think he was saying if it's a dead IP, why put it on PC? You just answered your own question. Because it's a dead IP. They're not going to do a sequel, so why not put it on PC? And if you don't know, there are no trophies. Like if you played that game on PlayStation, the article that I read is that if you play it on PC, you're not going to get you're going to get different trophies, I guess, but you're not going to get the PlayStation trophies. It's totally separate. And you do have ultra-wide support, monitor support on PC, which, again, I think is underrated. Ultra-wide monitors are really good monitors, and they do need more support. So that is good to know that if you play Days Gone and you got an ultra-wide monitor, you got support on PC. But why not? If a game is not going to have a sequel, yeah, just put it on PC. It makes no sense not to keep it. So this to me is good news. You want new IP, you're getting it. Sony Ben, new IP. Last of Us Part 2, getting factions. All this stuff, according to the article, is now confirmed. So you know what they're doing. And what I saw, like when I got home, I didn't get on Twitter till like late last night. I saw people saying, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, there are 3 to 4 new games coming. Like, duh. If you're a gamer, and again, understand, the fanboys are separate from the gamers. It's not that the fanboys don't play games, but the PlayStation gamers, are different. They have a different mindset than the PlayStation fanboys. That's just a reality that we got here, guys. So, speaking of reality, that was good. Quambo, what's happening? Quambo says the game can always get repitched. Yes, you're right. And again, it doesn't just because, again, one of my favorite games a couple of generations ago was a game called Jade Empire. And again, that was a BioWare game that was pitched to Microsoft, and Microsoft published that game. BioWare pitched us a sequel to Jade Empire, and Microsoft said no, which is fine. Games get pitched and turned down all the time. The Sony studio in Japan, because Nintendo is in control of Japan at this point, Sony isn't selling well over there in Japan, not to the point where they want a dedicated studio over there. Okay, that's just reality. All right, that's just reality. So they didn't fire the studio. They simply are going to have them support other things. And yeah, they may do another game. And I see people saying, well, there's not going to be a Bloodborne. There's not going to be a Bloodborne. No, not yet. But I mean, we're just in the beginning of the generation. Maybe you get your Bloodborne announcement in 2022, 2023. But right now, they still got Gran Turismo coming. Which to me is a big deal. Also, so do we understand that so far? Do you understand that there are 4 to 5 brand new games coming? Okay, factions, The Last of Us Part 1 remaster, Jade Raymond's new game. Okay, possibly a Remedy game. possibly. So, I mean, we're getting all this, you know, and Sony Ben's brand new game. So, I mean, again, that's why I'm excited about it. I'm like, oh, these are good announcements. These are good announcements. So, this is maybe, it says Uncharted. Allegedly, they were, and again, this is if the article is 100% correct. Sony Ben was going to make Uncharted, but David, ask yourself a basic question. If Naughty Dog is the home of Uncharted, why have Sony Ben make that game? That to me makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense at all. So what's up, Jemiah Dixon? Shout out to Jemiah Dixon. I see him holding it down online, going up against the Sony fanboys. But again, why would you? Jemiah Dixon was in the Army, I believe. If Jemiah Dixon, if he was in command and there was a hostage rescue and they said you can either have the Navy SEALs go in and get this hostage, or you can have the Army Rangers go in there, Jemiah Dixon is going to choose the Navy SEALs. Why? Because hostage rescue is what they specialize in. So again, the Rangers, the Rangers pretty much, they capture airports. Like, that's their specialty. You know, that's airborne specialty. Hey, I saw that on Discovery. That's how I know. So, but why have Sony Ben making, you know, and again, it's reported, and let's say the report's true. And I hope this is all true, because if I'm getting a new Sony Ben game, if I'm getting a new Sony Ben game, if I am going to get a Remedy game, if I am going to get an oh my goodness gracious, a Last of Us remake, not remaster, a remake. So that would be like how they did Resident Evil Part 2, totally remade, ground up. If they do that, and they do something called Factions, so all you moist fruit booties quit complaining about, I want to play online with my friends, you know. So that is 4 games, 4 to 5 new games, you know. So up the Hulk. So look, I'm not here to talk you off a ledge. If you don't like the direction, that's fine. It's okay not to like something. But so it looks like they were going to do a reboot of Uncharted, according to this report. Again, ask yourself why. Why would you reboot Uncharted? Uncharted 4 had a beginning, middle, and end. It even had an epilogue, for crying out loud. An epilogue in a video game. That's unheard of. So that's fine. That is fine. Okay? So Uncharted ended. They specifically said, hey, Nathan Drake is retired. Okay? That was in 2016. In 2017, you got a brand new avatar named Aloy for Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay? She effectively replaced Nathan Drake, okay, as a new Sony avatar. So that's the truth. So Jemiah knows that. Yeah, he knows what I just said was true. You know, but I want you to ask yourself if Naughty Dog, if you're in charge, if you're Herman Holtz and Naughty Dog has just made The Last of Us Part 2, which is the most awarded video game of all time, okay, of all time, why are you going to have another studio make another zombie game when you got the top studio in the world doing it already? It's a waste of resources. So, again, now, if you want to say, well, Days Gone, it could have been on the Unreal 5 engine, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But Days Gone did not do the number that Sony wanted, and so they're not going to be a sequel. And if you play Days Gone, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, Days Gone has a beginning, has a middle, and it has an ending. There's nothing to sequel off of that. That's reality. That is reality. So People are pushing Game Pass and knocking you by. Who cares what they say? Who cares? I've got Disney Plus. I have access to every single MCU movie, minus the Spider-Man movies. I have access to every single MCU movie, minus the Incredible Hulk, which was trash, so it's okay. But I have access to that. I'm still buying all the MCU movies physically. Why? Because I buy physical copies, because Disney Plus can go away tomorrow, then I won't, because I want ownership. This is simply about, and don't get caught up in it, ownership versus renting. All right? That's all that is. I also like the fact that Sony has announced that they're going to deal with blockbuster titles. That's why the PS5, that's why I got a PS5. Okay? Shout out to Emrys17. That's why. Okay? If I that's the truth. Okay? I can only speak for myself. I don't want a console. I didn't pay $500,000 for a console to play old games. I just didn't do that. I'm not here. Look, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually started playing Fallout 3 on the PS5. I actually started playing Fallout 3. It's because it's my favorite Fallout game, and I got to stream it. It is trash, but it's still Fallout 3. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just kind of go back and play a little bit of Fallout 3. But I'm not going to keep it. I just wanted to see what it was like to stream it, and that's not Sony's game. The only Sony game I may, if it's streamed and it looks like that, I may try to stream Metal Gear. Hopefully, I hope I'm saying this right. Guns of the Patriots. Am I saying that correctly? So, because I never played that game. But I got people saying, well, why don't they remake Siphon Filter? Hey, guess what? Sony Ben is making a brand new game. Maybe that's exactly what they're making. Can we just wait and see what they're doing? At least we know that they're making a brand new game. Okay? So, all right. So, said Days Gone did over 5 million. The last time we getting middle and end, it didn't need a sequel. To the first one did need a sequel. The Last of Us Part 2 does not have a sequel, and The Last of Us Part 1 is just getting a remake, according to the article. Okay, Sony has to. I'm still waiting. This conversation is based on the article being 100% correct. Okay, so Sony Ben is making a brand new game. Okay, they're also, according to the article, helping out with factions. Again, that's fine. That is fine. Okay, so again, I'm just saying that you got 4 new games announced yesterday from Jason Schreier, according to his article. 4 new IPs. Well, I'm including the Jade Raymond Studio game too. So you got 4 games coming, and I didn't see a bunch of people complaining, because when I came home, I said, look, there's games coming out. There's nothing to complain about here. So, but they are going to do something similar to Game Pass. I have no idea what that's going to look like. And it's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be there. Okay? It's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow. You're talking about something that's going to happen years down the road. Yeah, it may take them 2 years to get something set up. So Days Gone was an arcade. The micromanaged food set. Yeah, but again, what did you do in Days Gone that you don't do in every other game? Okay, you have to micromanage things in that other zombie game, Dead Island. Is it Dead Island? I think you had to do that. There's that. What's that zombie game that came out on Xbox? It came out like it was a launch game on the Xbox One. You had to do the same thing there. You have to manage resources in The Last of Us Part 2 and Part 1. So you're not doing anything new. It was nice that it was open world. That's what made it different. And again, it needed that 60 FPS update. I'm telling you right now, if you haven't played it and you got a PS5, play it at 60 frames per a second. My goodness gracious. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not that the game is bad. It just didn't do the number they wanted, and they had them doing something else. So, either variety, PlayStation has. Okay, you want variety? Fair enough. At the end of this month, Returnal, a brand new IP, is coming. Returnal is nothing like Demon Souls, which is nothing like Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is nothing like Sackboy, which is nothing like Astrobot, which is going to be nothing like Returnal. And then in a few more weeks after Returnal comes out, don't you get Ratchet and Clank? I mean, again, I'm telling you the truth here. There's nothing to damage control. Okay, so you get Ratchet and Clank, you get Returnal. In between those two games, you get two big multi-plat releases, Resident Evil and Mass Effect, respectively. You all knew I was going to throw in Mass Effect, right? So, but those two games come out in May. So what are we doing here, guys? You know, seriously, if you want, Sam, if you want that, everything I just described to you, nothing's the same. So nothing is the same. And if you want to wait all the way through the summer, in August, you get Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. I don't know how many of you all plan on buying Kenna. And then if you don't want Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, shortly after that, you get Deathloop, which I think got pushed to September. So again, this is stuff that's happening to me as a gamer that I'm excited about. Because I'm getting Returnal. Okay. I'm going to get Resident Evil. Okay. I'm going to get Mass Effect. Then I'll be moving. So that'll be it for a while. After I move, that's it for a while, buddy. So, and then yeah, which is perfect because then I have all summer to play those games. And then right at my birthday, you all know my birthday, when that is, Kenna comes out. Okay, so that's good. I'm fine, you know. So let's see here. You're so off now to get a PS5. Oh, you're not going to buy one? That's fine. That is your money. You have Returnal pre-order, followed by Ratchet and Clank. Don't care about Resident Evil. I'm not 100%. Well, that's fine. From Sony Studios. Well, again, that's okay. Sony Studios. The Sony Studios hasn't started cranking their games out yet. Okay. Spider-Man came out again, which is nothing like Astrobot, which is nothing like I just went through that. So this, you know, so I understand what you're talking about though, but you know, Jade Raymond is making a new game. Sony Ben is making a new game. All right. So I mean, again, but I understand what you're talking about. What's going on, Emrys? How you doing, brother? How you doing? So, true to Bloomberg article, hit a piece, was a hit piece if I've ever seen one. Oh yeah. I mean, again, I hope it's true. I want the article to be true. But this is the conversation where I'm having right now is based on that article being 100% true. So, because I certainly hope it is. So, well, again, understand, Emrys, that if it's all true, which is perfectly fine, this is old stuff. But if I'm in charge and I'm not going to sit down and I have the most awarded, decorated studio in my fold and they make a zombie game, I'm going to tell the people, I'm going to tell Sony Ben the same thing. Like, hey, look, guys, nothing against your game, but we just had The Last of Us Part 2 come out. It's still winning awards. And Sony Ben is going to make their own IP. So, JRPGs, aren't we getting, are we not getting Final Fantasy VII? See, I mean, did you all forget about that one? I'm just putting that out there, guys. So, I mean, it's almost like you're saying that there's nothing coming out, but there's plenty. There's plenty. So, I mean, at least, and like I said, Returnal comes out in what, 2 more weeks? 2 weeks, Returnal comes out. So that's if you buy it. I mean, let me make that clear. That's if you buy it. What did Supernova say? So, but I just keep noticing how everything keeps changing. Let's see here. You think Days Gone was arcadey? I mean, again, I didn't look at it like that, but again, there's nothing. That's fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. So, well, fine. Who do you get? You go back and get Trenton and what you call it back in Sean Layton. So Sony Ben did Uncharted Golden Abyss on Vita. Yeah, and Golden Abyss was supposed to come to PlayStation, the normal PlayStation, and they never did that. So again, that's fine. London Studios is working on a new AAA game. Okay, David. So there you go. My whole thing is that what you all have let happen to yourselves is because, look, the Xbox community ain't got no games. They don't. So they're up here talking about a streaming service. And I also understand that MLB The Show was very upsetting for the ponies. Okay, even though Sony published the game to their own platform. Okay, and MLB published the game to the Microsoft platform. So, also you all just got another platformer called Oddworld. Didn't Oddworld come out? Again, it is what it is, guys. So, let's see here. It was shout out to Immortal Black. Sony PlayStation moving towards spending money on games that will probably make yeah, go figure. Go figure. And again, if the article's true and Naughty Dog is making The Last of Us ground up, let me say, remaking, not remastering. They're remaking The Last of Us Part 1 ground up. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Aren't making any sense. It does make sense if you've never played it before. So it does make sense if you never played. And again, why would people were really excited about the Resident Evil Part 2. So you're saying what? You want Naughty Dog just to sit around and do nothing when they have the PS5 sitting in front of them and they can we can get this game. Who knows what this game is going to be? I've already beaten The Last of Us Part 1. Like I said, the story is what made that game, was the story. But to me, I'm not gonna argue with people who think it's a bad idea. What about the fact that the article mentioned that the multiplayer game that Naughty Dog is working on? I mean, Vidra, I've seen you specifically say, where's Factions? Well, according to that article, Factions is being made. Again, if the article is true. So, what was wrong with the original game? What? The Last of Us Part 1? I didn't like the gameplay, the gunplay. But then again, it was supposed to be like that because it wasn't like the Joel was a great shot. At least that's what they've said. He was a good shot, not a great shot. So the girl that got killed on the way at the very beginning with you, she got bit or something like that. She was supposed to be the best shot. So we killing of a PlayStation Studio and port The Last of Us with a remake to PC is good. What in the article said that The Last of Us was going to PC? Now you're speculating. Again, the article is I'm basing everything on what the article said. It said nothing about anything on the PC at all. At least the Bloomberg article that I read. Now, is there something else if something else has come out since then? Fine, but I'm not aware of it. But that statement makes no sense. The Last of Us Part 1 built ground up built ground up is going to sell a lot of copies. Being received badly by critics. Oh, well, again, that won't stop them before Gravity Rush got, they're not remaking it because, again, remaking it. What would the sequel be? I mean, honestly, if you played Days Gone and you finished it has a beginning, middle, and end. I mean, what is your sequel going to be? Now, maybe, True Virgil, let's just say they go back in 2 years and they say, hey, how about, and I said this earlier if you didn't hear me, let's just say they did something similar to what Naughty Dog did with Lost Legacy. They just kind of do a spinoff, and they say, okay, the first half of the spinoff is going to be you playing as a different character, and then the last part of the game, maybe the last 3 to 4 hours, you play as Deacon, and Boozer. That to me would make a little more sense, but I can't believe I'm saying this. Why are you all not excited that Sony Bend, because they're not doing a sequel, they're now doing, according to the article, a brand new IP? Because at least the people I talk to on Twitter, they're like, yeah, the fact that Sony Bend is doing a brand new IP is a good thing. Okay? It does have stuff in there without context. That is true. Now, some of it has been confirmed by Eurogamer. So that's why I'm saying I hope the article's true. Because I want Sony Bend to make a brand new IP. I thought Days Gone was good enough. So what they're saying is that Sony, pretty much, if the article is true, is saying, well, Days Gone we thought was good enough, but it wasn't great. But you all can do another new IP. That's all they said. Now, maybe they come back later, like the gentleman was saying earlier, and they repitch it and Sony takes it. It's just not, Days Gone was left open for a sequel. Again, I played it and beat it, and I don't know how. Okay? I mean, I don't want to spoil it for people who didn't play it, but to me, it had a beginning, middle, and ending. So, I mean, everybody got killed that they needed to get killed. The people that got needed to get got in that game. So, shout out to Dawn. She says, Craig, when do I get the PS5 the bag? Oh, you will get the first Last of Us 2. Okay, when you get it, again, there's nothing. The only thing it does different on the PS5, the PlayStation Pro, is that it loads a lot faster, allegedly. I've got the Last of Us Part 2 here, and I've not played it yet. But then again, I haven't played Spider-Man, and it's got machine learning. So I haven't been able to get to Spider-Man yet. So there was forces behind why the outbreak happened. Okay, but that's not a secret. But why would Deacon St. John, Boozer, and I won't give away the other character, try to attack that? That has nothing to do with what they went through. Okay? Deacon, once he found out about you-know-who, his goal was to get that person, and in the end, he got that person. Okay? So that was the end of that game. I promise you, that was the end of the game. There was nothing to sequel off of that. Now, if you want to say they could do like a offset like Lost Legacy was, that I understand. I mean, that actually makes more sense to me. Hey, look, how about they have some other characters come along that are, to investigate the outbreak. That's got nothing to do with Deacon and Boozer. So again, you need to watch that. I did watch it. It's still not enough for a sequel. And again, the fact is that they're making a brand new IP. You all are just mad that it's not a sequel to Days Gone. Fair enough. I mean, that's fine. Okay. But again, they're still making a brand new game. So Dawn says she still has to get the first one as well. Okay, yeah. Now, The Last of Us was different. The Last of Us definitely, because of the way it ended, needed a sequel. Okay, now I didn't expect that big of a sequel, and I've said before, The Last of Us Part 2 felt too long. I thought after Ellie was there with Dina and the baby, I thought that should have been the end of the game with when she has that flashback in the barn of what happened with Joel. Maybe at that point, after when she goes after Abby, to me that should have been DLC. That's just my opinion of that game. I'm not that because the game felt too long for me. I'm like, man, this is a long game, you know. But to me, I thought it would have been better if they would have made that DLC. Maybe it comes out this year or something like that. So so they can make a sequel to Days Gone and make a new IP. It's been done before. Yeah, and maybe that's exactly what they're going to do, Sam, but they're making the new IP first. Their priority is the new IP. So I'm not saying that what you're saying right here is what I said earlier. Hey, look, what if they do the new IP, then they go back and repitch Days Gone and they do it? Okay, Sony says, yeah, okay. I mean, that's very possible, guys. You guys live in this either or conjunction world, and when you're dealing in a business, there's a lot of gray there. So would Sony really confirm a Days Gone 2 right now? No, not right now. Not according to that article. Not according to the article. So everything is based on the article. So yeah, I mean, all right, fine. There were multiple endings. It's still going to come back to him, Deacon, and his friend, his best friend. They did what they needed to do, beginning, middle, and end. So Ice Queen finally says she's glad. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm happy Sony Ben is making me happy. So am I. So am I. As anybody who's a gamer should be happy that there's more IP coming. But everybody's concentrating on the negative and not the positive. I don't know why. So Burismo said, to be precise, Ben's pitch didn't go through, so maybe it's a bad. And again, why? We don't know that. We don't know how that pitch went. Let's just say you're right and it did go bad. Even if you're Sony and I'm in charge of their game division, I'm looking at Sony Ben's, looking at the fact that The Last of Us Part 2 won Game of the Year. It won every award possible. It's still winning awards, okay? And I'm like, you want to make another zombie game when we got another studio that specializes in that? Nah. Do you all have any other thing you want to make? And if they say, yeah, we want to try to make this, boom, greenlit. Greenlit, according to the article. So greenlit means totally backed. Means Sony has given them the money to start creating their new game. And they're also, according to the article, they're helping make the Naughty Dog game Factions, which everybody has been bitching about. I don't know why, because I don't put on a headset and play games online with my friends. Okay? So, but that's a you all thing. I mean, again, I understand that. I will play the Division Part 2 with some people, but that's it. What's up, JP Loco? Said, personally, I thought they were going to do a new IP, then do Days Gone 2. Anyway, they still could. That's the whole thing. They still can. Just because something isn't greenlit doesn't mean it's trashed. But I understand when people are like, well, why is the game going to PC? Well, right now, because they don't plan to make a sequel to it now, physically. So why not put it over there and it can make some more money? They're going to charge people $59.99 on PC, and those idiots are going to go buy it. And they got no trophies. They don't, because that's, but they do have ultra-wide monitor support. So, yeah, London Studios is making a new IP. Yeah, I think we read that earlier. Yeah, there you go. So that makes, if the Remedy game is true, that's six. That is 6 new games coming. And that does not include Gran Turismo. That does not include God of War Ragnarok. That does not include Horizon. Not counting those. So that is an incredible amount of IP coming. Now, Sony, let me make this clear. Should Sony get out in front of this and not in front of it, should Sony do something at the end of the month with Returnal? Yes. That I think would be good. They need to do like a half-hour show. A half-hour show. This is just my opinion. It's not like I'm going to lose sleep if they don't do it. But to me, they need to do a half-hour show on this. So let me see if I can. I'm going to. I think this is correct. And there we go. So that is the link if anybody wants to jump on. So the ponies, what's that say, Blue Turismo? Ponies will have all first world problems. We get them games. We're still upset about eternal politics. I don't understand why you all are that's the thing. Why are you going on about the way decisions are made? I mean, think about what you're complaining about. Sony getting a new IP from Sony Ben. You're bitching. That makes no sense. None whatsoever. Okay? None. And, and not understanding just because somebody says no at this point doesn't mean that they're going to say no 10 years down the road. Sony and Marvel said no to each other. Marvel went to Sony, can we please put Spider-Man in our MCU? Sony said no. But guess what? Marvel kept coming back. Can we work something out with you guys? We did it with Universal. We got a sharing deal with Universal to use the Incredible Hulk. Sony said no. Then eventually Sony took the meeting. They said, okay, how do you plan on using him? Oh, well, here's what we would like to do with him. Okay, Sony came back and said, well, we want to be the ones that cast him. Marvel said, absolutely. We'll get out. Hey, that's perfectly fine. Okay. And then Sony makes this dog crap announcement about how Spider-Man, how the MCU is now part of what Sony's doing. That was trash. I mean, I still remember that announcement. I'm like, all right, whatever you all need to say, we're just glad it happened. This is what you all got to say to butter the biscuit. Fine. So just let's hope the new London studio IP is a hit and not a flop, because if it's floppy, that studio will be scrapped. And they will be out. They're just being silly. So that like button, people. So these gamers lack optimism, thinking everything is going out. Yeah, and guess what? When you're talking to the Xbox community, I did, and like literally these guys, and I hope Porter Rock 77, shout out to Porter Rock, I hope he does a hot take on this next week. These guys are upset, and they're under the impression that the $70 game thing is going to become normal, and they don't want it to because they're broke. They're broke. Okay, like I said, they're so poor they go to McDonald's and they put the small shake on layaway. So that's just they're broke, and they don't want $70 games to be the norm, even though the next Grand Theft Auto gonna be $70. Tell you that much. The next 2K gonna be $70. The next Madden gonna be $70. Okay, so I mean, Call of Duty was $70, was it not? Okay, so that's and I pay $70 for Spider-Man, but look, I got Miles Morales and I got a remaster of Spider-Man with 4K checkerboard at 60, 4K native 30 with ray tracing, and 1440p 60 with HDR ray tracing. So that to me is fine. So yeah, the initiative is now not painting the canvas here. Well, I mean, again, why did Sony, and shout out to J-Tech, he was talking about the studio that made Drive Club. J-Tech is the only person I know that must have liked Drive Club. I don't know. Everybody else I know that plays driving games in the PlayStation ecosystem, they play Gran Turismo. And there's nothing wrong with Drive Club, but that game was 30 FPS. Now, do I think Sony needs to come out maybe with a Ridge Racer or a game like Ridge Racer? Yes, I've said that multiple times. I really enjoyed Ridge Racer, but it's no longer around. You know, Rules said we've been paying 70 euros for the entire last generation. Now it's 80. That's almost $100. So you guys still have it good. Well, look, shout out to Lincoln Clay. All right, Lincoln Clay like Drive Club. So so Lincoln Clay and well, I understand because you have VR, and I think Drive Club did support VR. So that makes sense. But yeah, J-Tech, like I said, man, he's on some stuff. I mean, shout out to J-Tech, my man, 50 grand. I almost knocked his head off for that PlayStation. He just barely escaped me. I had my Captain America shield. I was like, oh, I'm taking that. I was like, hey, come here. I need how do I get to that Waffle House? And I can see the sign. And he would have been like, well, yeah, you go ahead and go whack. And I would have taken the bag. That was the plan, but he got away. He got away. Okay, so but yeah. Yeah, Sam, there you go. These people are broke and they don't want to pay $70 for games. So, and again, according to inflation in the United States, the game should cost $87. That's according to that. Oh, what's the truth? Yeah, they're cheap. They're cheap. Okay. Now look, they're under the impression that Microsoft is just going to go to all these developers and say, we want that game in Game Pass. And I'm not here to say that that's Microsoft is doing that. That's what they're trying to do. Why were they able to do that with MLB? They were able to do that with MLB because that was a brand new deal. That's a brand new deal. So they were able to get in on the ground level and say, can you put this game in Game Pass? So we need a PS3 remake on a hardware level of what? Of what? The top PS3 game is The Last of Us, and it got remade. Okay? That's your top game. When I think of PlayStation 3, you got to remember, I didn't have a PlayStation 3. The Last of Us is all we heard about. I was on the 360 ecosystem, and all you heard about was The Last of Us, The Last of Us, The Last of Us. That's all we heard about. I'm kind of like, is the game that good? Shout out to my boy Bill Logan. I called him up, like, because he had a PS3. I'm like, man, you got The Last of Us? He said, yeah. I said, is it as good as people are saying? He's like, Craig, it's one of the best games I've ever played. Okay, and Bill is a big gamer. I mean, not as big as he used to be, but because he's still playing. He still plays GT Sport. I mean, he still likes GT. A PS3 Pro, you're silly. So you spent $100 one day worth of takeout. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, JP Loco, I got you, brother. You're preaching to the choir. And hey, look, I'm the first one to say, hit the like button, and if you feel like supporting the podcast, hit the donation button. But even I knew games were going to go up this generation because look at what we got. Look at what we got. What did you really expect them to use AMD's latest technology, artificial intelligence, which has been confirmed on the PS5, okay, ray tracing, and then you still be paying $49? Are you nuts? Now, there are still some games because you know, and they say, well, Sony's not doing anything. I did a podcast last week when I specifically said that Remedy and didn't Sony and Remedy have Control? And I'm talking about the new version of Control drop in PlayStation Plus day and date. All you had to do was go download it. And so if you had Plus, if you were paying whatever you were paying per month, I pay $7.99 a month. If you had Plus, you got that game, okay? It's the same thing with MLB The Show. It was the exact same thing. So, okay, Drive Club had the best rain effects. Wow. Okay, seriously? Rain? Are we there now? We back to puddles again? So Uncharted, Little Big Planet. Okay, Uncharted is done. Nathan Drake is retired. We just talked about Little Big Planet. Fair enough, but didn't the people who do Little Big Planet, didn't they make Sackboy? I mean, I can't remember if that's the same studio or not. So, people don't want to spend $70 for a game. Just wait till the price drops and come on. Fair enough. Yeah, that's what I do on stuff now. I still want the Sony television, the 900H, but I'm waiting for the price to come down to $700. So because that I can go in and just buy. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on another TV. My girl will kill me if I do that. So, Yeah, you got Sony came out and told you their direction. That's what I love about it. Okay, if the article's true, big blockbuster games only. But they're going to be the Ruth Chris Steakhouse of games. Nintendo does the same thing. Okay, you always hear people complaining. I'm going to have another one here that you're going to love. You always hear people complaining about Nintendo prices, but Nintendo knows they're putting out quality stuff. Whether I like it, you like it or not. Nintendo puts out, you never hear people say, man, Nintendo's IPs are trash. Nintendo's IPs are crashing. Nintendo's IPs are having issues. You never hear that. Okay, and it's because they put out quality stuff. Ask yourself a basic question about quality. Cyberpunk 2077 comes out. Trash. I mean, everybody knows it was trash. People apologizing because it was trash. Okay? Sony, because they're about quality, they say, we don't want this trash on our platform. We're taking it off the store. They go back to CD Projekt Red and say, you are going to fix this shit. That's what they said, right? We're not putting this back on our platform till you fix it. Xbox, however, kept it on their platform because Xbox does not care about quality. They don't. They never have. The Xbox 360 had a 38% fail rate. It was so bad that there was almost a class action lawsuit. So Microsoft fixed everything for free. And everybody's like, oh, look how pro-consumer they're being. It's like, if they're pro-consumer, why did they put out a trash console that broke at 38%? You dig? But we're talking about quality here. Okay? I can go to Fazoli's and get spaghetti. That's what Xbox is. They are Fazoli's. But if I want some really good spaghetti and meatballs, I got to go to Bella Notte. I got to maybe even the Olive Garden, depending on who's back there slinging the meat. Okay? But I'm going to Bella Notte. That's what Sony is. And if you can't afford it, I respect that. But I don't mind paying $70 because I didn't mind paying $50 and I didn't mind paying $40. I still remember when those games went up, you walked into GameStop like, oh man, I only hang in here with like $43. Well, the game is $49.99 now. You know, then it went $49.99 to $59.99. And people are like, and you know, it is what it is. So it is what it is. Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon. Again, those are quality games. Halo, Forza, and Gears. Again, Gears took a hit because it was crashing a whole lot. So, the Uncharted, God of War, The Last of Us. Again, those are great. You need 3 legs. You need that tripod, okay? That's what you need. So, you got the LG. Yeah, I heard the CX. Look. Let me make this clear. Let's see how much that CX is, though, right now. Let me see how much that costs. How much do you remember how much you paid for it? If you don't mind me asking. Let's just look at the 48-inch. Good Lord, $1,400. No. I'm sorry. Wrong one. Yeah, $1,400. Nope, they can keep that. They keep that. I am not the most I'll pay for a TV at this point is $7.99. I'll pay $7.99 for a television at this point, but not now, because I'm moving. But that's how much I will pay. So, well, what is going on, Brigadier William Wilderbeest? Always a pleasure. Sam Ash paid $2,400. See, that's because you all got like 750 and 800 credit scores. So, yes, you're right. I mean, again, look, Microsoft is creating different IP. Fable is coming out. I'm excited about Fable coming out. Again, I hope that's the studio that is making Fable. Is it Playground? That's a quality studio. They've made quality IP with the Forza game. So they're taking a leap to make this fine, perfectly fine. I'm looking forward to that. But I'm a fan of Fable anyway. I like the first 3 Fables. So, it is what it is. So, $24.35 for the TV. Oh my goodness! There you go. You're either going to go C1 or G1. Okay. Well, I say this: if the G1s are coming out, then are out, the C1s will be a little bit cheaper. But again, I'll go $7.99, and if that Sony TV comes down to $8.99, which that's what I've been told it's going to come down to, then I may really look at it, or it may come down to like $8.49. Then I'll pull the trigger. But that I understand. If not, I'm going to get a Samsung TV again. I'll get another Samsung TV. So, so yeah, there you go. Look how long, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not. You're correct. I mean, you're correct about that. I mean, people saying that Xbox ain't got no games. You're not lying about that. This is why they're talking about friggin' Game Pass. And look at Outriders. Outriders is in Game Pass and it's sloppy. I mean, it's trash. I mean, it's crashing. I see people complaining. Shout out to Ash and Luca. Apparently, they said she was bullying or something like that. I don't know what happened because I never got to hear the video. But from my take, from what she has said on Twitter, is they don't even want you complaining about the games in Game Pass that are effed up because it's in Game Pass. Therefore, you can expect low quality. Again, do you want a porterhouse steak or do you want some rinky-dinky piece of chicken? I mean, I don't know what else to say about this stuff. I personally look at it like it's an investment. I'm glad I made the investment. I'm enjoying the PlayStation 5 immensely. And people are like, well, I haven't played on it a whole lot. Well, I've been at work, but I'm going to play on it today. There ain't nothing to do today. Trust me. I mean, it's Saturday. Ain't nothing on but golf. I mean, I guess I can listen to the radio Fox Sports and do some NFL draft stuff, but that's about it. And PlayStation might back to Gorilla Game. I doubt it. So you hope. Well, Vija, we have to even see if that's true or not. So. What are my thoughts on Falcon and Winter Soldier? Without spoiling anything, I thought it was one of the best episodes I've seen. It really hurts my feelings that there's only 2 more episodes left. Okay? There's only 2 more episodes left, and what they were doing was it was going to end on the 23rd, and then remember, May 1st was when Black Widow was supposed to come out. May 1st or May 2nd. Or maybe it was supposed to come out like May 29th, going to have that long run. And I really hope Marvel looks to move that movie back up because I don't want to go a whole month without any Marvel stuff because that's what's going to happen. We got nothing in May. But they were supposed to do, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Black Widow movie at the theaters, then Loki, and then I forgot what was coming after Loki. Maybe What If? I can't remember. Maybe it was What If was coming. So, yeah, that episode last night, I watched that. And man, that was so good. I was like, wow. I had like 2 or 3 wow moments. So I enjoyed it. You can tell in my voice. So Outriders, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a looter shooter. It's just they put it on Game Pass, and it's trash. I mean, it's janky, it's crashing, and they'll be like, "Well, that's not Microsoft's fault, dude. You put a game out there that's broken. That is your fault. I mean, now it's on the PlayStation as well, and I don't know what it's like because I don't play those type of games. I don't." So you haven't watched Falcon and Winter Soldier yet, waiting for the last 2 episodes. Well, it's very good. It is very good. It really harkens. It's paying a lot of homage to the Super Soldier program. It's paying a lot of homage to that. So if you don't understand what that program is, you can go back and look it up yourself. So what if in Hawkeye? Is Hawkeye this year? I thought Hawkeye was next year. So, but I could be wrong. I thought Loki was the last TV show this year because at that point, Disney, the Star Wars stuff's going to come back, early, late fall. So, Loki trailer gave you Legion vibes. Well, fair enough. That the fact is that we got rid of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was trash. I mean, it was. It got better, but it had no choice. But the fact that they're able to sign these actors to these big shows is something else. And these are big budget shows. Okay, and those actors aren't cheap to get. And the same people that coordinate fights in Falcon and Winter Soldier is the same people that coordinated the fights in John Wick. Okay, they also coordinated fights in Captain America: Civil War. So, yeah, Agents was pure trash. So trash. So it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, people thought when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was announced, there were people who had YouTube channels that said we were going to be seeing Thor and all of them on TV, and it turned out not to be true. The biggest star they got Samuel Jackson to do a cameo for like 30 seconds, and they also got the girl that plays Jamie Alexander. She played Lady Sith, but Jamie Alexander's TV show was a hit. It was a hit TV show. So, yeah, that means that the Spider-Man stuff will all go to Netflix. Okay, but I already have Spider-Man stuff. I already have the Spider-Man stuff, so I'm good. I've got Homecoming and I've got the other one. So Far From Home. So I own it. Yeah, JP Loco. We've gotten big appearances though, but we got some huge ones last week. I mean, huge last week. Some big ones this week too. When you stand back and look at who's been in on that show, and I'm not going to spoil it for you because you haven't watched it yet. This week is episode 5, so we got to find out who the power broker is, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah, I stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after the 5th episode. Now, when they got Ghost Rider on there, when they put him on there, I started watching it again. So, but that was the last time I really I sat down to watch that show. That show's trash. I mean, that's all I can say. That show is trash. So, and it's not there. But I thought it got better. I'm glad to see Mei Na Wing. She is now on The Mandalorian. She's going to be in the Boba Fett series. I'm glad that she got something. And Coulson can always come back. But yeah, I do like that the deal between Sony and Netflix. Yeah, again, Sony was looking for somewhere to put their stuff, and Netflix made the best offer. And that Sony got a lot of IP. That's a lot of IP that's going to be dumped into Netflix. But once again, the IP that I have that I want that Sony's got, I got it already. So, but all right, that I own it. And again, with Netflix, you don't own any of that stuff. You don't, and that sucks. So, and that's the difference between renting and owning. That's the difference. So, But guys, I'm about to jump on off here. I know Jay Barry and Persona are going to start here in another minute or two. So there's only 4. Yeah. Yesterday was number 4, and like I said, the fifth show we should get the Power Broker, and but there's only 6 shows for the season, but the show is about 48 minutes long, 40 minutes, something like that. So it's like having 2 shows. Remember, people complained about WandaVision only being a half hour, and now they're not complaining about that anymore. So you still need to watch The Mandalorian. Love The Mandalorian. Love it. But I'm a big Star Wars nerd, so I love The Mandalorian anyway. So, all right, guys, I'm going to jump on off here. I do appreciate you all joining me. About 50 people in here. That's pretty good for a morning Saturday show. And just remember, 5 new games according to this article. And I'm throwing in the Remedy game. And if you want to throw in the London Studio game, that's 6 new IPs announced. So I'm happy as a gamer. 6 new IPs. That doesn't include God of War. That doesn't include Gran Turismo. That does not include Horizon, Kena, Returnal. All that's coming. So I'm good. That's a lot of eating. Mass Effect. My goodness gracious. I will be playing Mass Effect before I play Resident Evil. I can let you know. I'll let you know that right now. So there you go. You still need to watch WandaVision. Well, remember, WandaVision is happening. WandaVision is happening right after Avengers Endgame. Falcon and Winter Soldier, that is happening about 2 to 3 months after Endgame. All right. Loki is going to take place after the very first Avengers movie. Okay? Well, that's when Loki is taking place. At the Avengers movie that came out in 2012. Okay? It's taking place right after that. So, but all right then, Jemiah. Shout out to you, brother. Always good to see you. And you need to go look at that WCCF tech. Looks like Lisa Sue with RDNA 2 has defeated the 3000 series. So everybody, I'm going to get on up out of here. I do appreciate you all coming. Peace out and have a good rest of the day. Later.